Good morning, dears. A patient with symptoms of abdominal pain, diarrhea, or rectal bleeding, or mucosal pus, etc. may be a case of either Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis. Because of that, we have to differentiate the case whether it is ulcerative colitis or Crohn's disease. That means differential diagnosis or the difference between the ulcerative colitis and Crohn's disease can be made with some symptoms. Let us see. Number one with the area of affection. That means region of the colon. In ulcerative colitis, usually the inflammation starts from the rectum and spread proximally. Rectum and spread proximally to the sigmoid colon or to the left-sided colon or to the transverse colon or something like that. But if it is a case of Crohn's disease, the usual affected area is in the starts from the terminal ileum and it can affect the first portion of the cecum, that is terminal ileum or ileocecal junction is the usual primary site of patient with Crohn's disease. And next about the peculiarity of the lesions. In ulcerative colitis, the infections are very diffuse or continuous in nature. But in Crohn's disease, in terminal ileum, but in Crohn's disease it is with a segmental, discontinuous or skip lesions. That means alternate affected area with a diseased area. Okay. It is the skip area. Skip lesions. Okay. And about the nature of affection. In ulcerative colitis, the inflammation will usually results in superficial mucosa, submucosa muscularis and again serosum. So in ulcerative colitis, the inflammation or the ulceration will usually limits in mucosal level, or it may very rarely, or it can be up to submucosal level. Limit of inflammation in mucosal or submucosal. But in case of Crohn's disease, the ulcer can involve all layers or every layers of our small intestine or large intestine. That is why it is known as transmural. Let us see. First, the ulcer is formed over the mucosa of the colon. Then, as the pathology advances, it will affect the submucosa, from the submucosa to the muscularis, from the muscularis to the serosa, and it can even penetrate and perforate beyond the serosa, and thereby it can affect the neighboring or adjacent viscera. That is why it is known as transmural. Number 1, number 2, number 3. 1, 2, 3. Next, about on examination by endoscopical or colonoscopical examination, pseudopolyps are common in ulcerative colitis. Pseudopolyps. But in Crohn's disease, it is very rarely present. In ulcerative colitis, usually fibrosis is very rare. Fibrosis is very rare. But in Crohn's disease, it is very common. Fibrosis is very okay. Then next, about on examination of the total morphological size of the colon. In ulcerative colitis, the colon may get shrunken, or the shortening of the colon can be seen due to the contraction of the muscularis muscles. But in Crohn's disease, there is a great shortening of the colon or fixed narrowing. All these things are due to fibrosis. So, number 6, shortening of colon due to contraction of muscles. Whereas in Crohn's disease, shortening and fixed narrowing is due to severe degree of fibrosis. And in patient with ulcerative colitis, there will not be any fistulae or fissures. Fistula or fissure is not common, or extremely very rare. But in patient with Crohn's disease, the Crohn's disease may present itself maybe with the form of fistula or fissure. So, fistula or fissure is a common feature in Crohn's disease. And next, about the contraction or the stricture of the colon. In ulcerative colitis, no strictures can be seen. Usually, no strictures. Why it is? Because the inflammations are usually at the level of mucosa and submucosa. Due to the transmural capacity of Crohn's disease, here the strictures are very common. Here, there may not be any intestinal obstruction, but in Crohn's disease, intestinal obstructions are common. Okay, so these are the main difference between ulcerative colitis and Crohn's disease. It's a very interesting and important question in your theory exams. So kindly read it. Okay, thank you.